All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Teens and Money Mindset. We appreciate you spending a Tuesday night with us to talk about a very, very important topic, and that is understanding a little bit more why we make some of the spending decisions that we do and how can we possibly make those better. So again, thank you so much for being here this evening. My name is Tony Byer. I am the financial wellness coordinator for Altra, and then also on the webinar helping us out behind the scenes, we have Holly Salimas. She is our youth marketing specialist, and we also have Angelica Bravo, who is also a financial wellness coordinator, and she is down in Texas. So again, really appreciate everybody being here. As we're going through this, if you have questions, feel free to put those in the chat. I will do my best job to monitor that, but also Holly and Angelica will help us out with that. And then also, we are giving away a $50 Amazon gift card at the end. So stay tuned for all of that. But again, appreciate you being here this evening. So what we're going to talk about in our brief time together is kind of what influences our spending habits. And we're going to try to answer the why behind our money, why we do some of the things that we do, why we spend the way we do. And there's a lot that goes into it. So we'll talk about values and what role that plays when it comes to our money, our spending, the way we think about money. Also attitudes as well. So some of the differences between values and attitudes, we will talk about that. Our emotions, this plays a huge role in our spending decisions, how we feel about certain products, items, services, all of those different things. A lot goes into it. And then there's so many social factors that go along with this as well. So we'll examine more of that. And then also advertising. We are so exposed to all of that. And then at the end, we're going to talk about, some tips in changing our spending habits and being mindful consumers with all of this. But as we're going through this, just know this is a judgment-free zone when it comes to our money. I've been in my position for more than 11 years, many different classrooms, sessions, working with our members, so many different people. And one thing that I have found is that everybody's thoughts, feelings, and what we do and what's important to us and how we spend our money, save our money, those attitudes, those values when it comes to money, they're all very, very different. So this is very much a judgment-free zone. Know that. And also know that because I talk about all this stuff all the time, pretty much almost daily, it seems like, with my job helping educate those that are young and those that are young at heart. I've done all of these, different pitfalls that we'll talk about and all these different traps. So I am not perfect with all of these things either, but we can all get better. That's why we're here. So really appreciate it. But one thing I want to ask yourself when it comes to our money, what is our relationship with it? So what does money mean to you? So feel free to put that in the chat if you like. What does money mean to you? What is it? Safety, security? Is it fun? Is it stressful? So money can mean a lot of different things to so many different people. So feel free to put one or two words or how you feel about money and what does it mean to you when it comes to our spending. So excellent. Just to say it's a tool to get what we want. Neat. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a tool in order to do that. So there's going to be things that we need. They have to be in our spending plan. We're not going too long without them. And then also what we want, those nice to haves as well. So a lot of different things. So Jacob saying security, it can be stressful. Absolutely, Rosalind. Yes. Money troubles can affect all areas of a person's life. It can cause strain and stress on friendships, relationships, family, even internal stress as well. So, will defining it is a currency, and we're able to exchange that for different goods and services, things that we need, things that we want. Absolutely. Very good. When it comes to money, what is the most difficult thing about it? So what I like to do with all my different trainings is, money and talking about some of these concepts, money's already complicated enough. So I like to try to simplify things. But what we're going to be talking about in here, is in no way, shape, or form easy whatsoever. So something to think about. Don't have to put in the chat if you don't like to, but again, so, what can be difficult or what might be stressful. And then kind of a fun one, going into the Wayback Machine, it's even further back for someone like me. But what's your first memory with money? So one of the things that comes to mind for me is the Tooth Fairy. And I did find out at a young age that for some reason, the Tooth Fairy at my grandmother's house, she gave more per tooth than at our own house. So I got a little smart with that. Whenever I had a loose tooth or something like that, I'm like, when are we going to grandma's? Yeah, $5 a tooth. I mean, even then, that was quite a bit. Some others say that the Tooth Fairy, absolutely. And when it comes to money, we typically got to do something for it. We've got to, earn it in some way, shape, or form. Chores, allowance, things like that. Maybe birthdays, holidays. Oh, Jacob, buying a bike, awesome, very, very cool. So thinking about money and all that plays a role when it comes to our values, when it comes to money, and these are pretty shaped and really difficult to change. So we'll talk about our self concept. This is kind of what we feel about ourselves, our narrative. You could talk about that. So kind of when we think about ourselves, what are some words that might come to mind? Social factors definitely play a role when it comes to shaping our values, especially around money. So it's, what are our friends doing? That's a big one right there. What are we around? What are we exposed to? Our upbringing, our family, those that are close to us, could be, parents, guardians, aunts, uncles, grandparents, cats, dogs, who knows? But our upbringing plays a big role in all this as well. What we see around us, we may mimic, some of those things later in our lives. Also, our culture as well. So, whether we belong to different, clubs or different, places of worship, or where we go to school, maybe, or where we hang out, or maybe different, who knows, clubs, sports, things like that. But culture plays a big role as well. And then also what we see around us as well, the media. So that is what we see online, what's on our, what's on our phone, what's on TV, what's all over the place here. But that also does play a role, what we see. And like I mentioned before, our values, they're a combination of all of these things. And it's our behaviors, our attitudes when it comes to money. They really play a big role with that. So I wanted to talk about our values, and then also there's money attitudes as well. And there are some differences between the two. So our values, they're very much long-lasting beliefs. They have been crafted and shaped over the years, and they're something that we hold near and dear to this, and kind of is our default, I guess you could say. They're very firmly held, and they can be changed, but it's really through conscious effort. And it's typically going to be a process. It's not just going to happen overnight when it comes to, trying to change our values, because these are deep held beliefs here, which is very difficult to do, but it is possible. But again, it's going to take some effort on your part. And then there's attitudes. So these, can definitely fluctuate. They change. So, our current life situation, perhaps, what we are encountering now, that can shape our attitude when it comes to money. Our likes, our dislikes as well. So things that are appealing to us, things that we don't like, all and everything in between. And our our attitudes can very much change, and they're very, very fluid and dynamic. Our values, those hold on pretty well, you could say, when it comes to all that. And there's definitely social factors that play a big role when it comes to our money, how we think about money. So our friends, what we see around us, our family, definitely, peer groups, people that we hang out with. These are those that are of similar, let's say, age, beliefs, values, all of those different things. They play a big role in all of this. uh, possibly social class as well. So we feel that in order to fit in with others, we have to perhaps dress a certain way. We have to have, that certain that phone or the shoes or we all of those different things. That definitely plays a role. Our what we're around us and kind of what helps us assimilate, I guess you could say, with what's around us. Social media, huge, 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 huge. Spending time on, all the different social media sites and things like that. But a thing to know really about social media and something to keep in mind, which is not always easy because we could go online, we could, see these people live in these extravagant lifestyles and having all these nice things. But a thing to think about when it comes to social media, people are putting their best stuff on there. They're not putting the mundane, the day to day, the bad stuff, typically. So that is something to keep in mind. It's like why do these people have all these things and I can't have these nice things, which can lead to FOMO, fear of missing out. It is a real thing when it comes to psychology with all of this. So it's something to understand and know with this. And a very, very popular expression that's been coined, years and years ago when it comes to what we see around us, and that is keeping up with the Joneses here. So it is those that are around us, what we see. They have it. That looks nice. I want all that stuff. And it's very, very natural. And I have totally done it. Absolutely. In wanting some of these, these nice things or these material possessions or to show like, hey, I've got this and you don't. But know that you're not what you buy. You're not the clothes that you wear. You're not, these material things that you have. And we don't need these expensive things to live and have a good life as well. But I definitely have been guilty of that in the past. That is for sure. See something and it happens. It absolutely happens. And we're human and that's okay with all of this. So the more that we understand, the better decisions that we can make and understand that, know that this is all natural as well. So, talking about, Rosalind's saying, can live without it. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not always easy. It's definitely not always easy. But, knowing that we don't necessarily need these things as well. And as Justice says, absolutely depends on what it is in the chat. I absolutely 100% agree with that. But something to keep in mind, because if we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, we're probably going to go broke doing all of that as well. It's been around for quite some time, but a book that I'm reminded of is the Millionaire Next Door. But so with the story, the authors actually they went to these like nice gated neighborhoods. They've got the nice cars, they've got the beautiful house and things like that, and they were trying to figure out, okay, what makes these people different than everybody else? What have they figured out? And what they found is actually many of those people living these big, extravagant lifestyles, really, showing off. They're living on credit or they're, paycheck to paycheck or things like that. And what they found is actually there's a lot more millionaires that live in modest homes, that drive used cars, that their outfits, their wardrobe, not flashy at all. And that's how they achieved a high net worth. And that's how they hold on to that as well. They're not spending that money as well. So things to keep in mind there. We don't need all these really, really nice things in order to have a good life. So another part that comes along with this, like I said, with our values, it's our self-concept as well. And it's really looking at the mirror, who am I? As a person, what are some things that when I think about myself, what comes to mind as well? So if, it can be something like, I believe, working hard. I'd like to think that I'm a nice person, I try to think so with that. But these are, just these things that we think about ourselves as well. So again, these have, been shaped, for quite some time with all of this. Really important, though, when it comes to our self-concept, is to know thyself as well, especially when it comes to our money. And we'll talk about some impulse decisions. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Definitely things that I've fallen into as well. But with all of this, it's important to take that look, that introspection, and really understand and know yourself as well. And then, what are some self concepts that we have when it comes to money as well? And that really helps shape some of the decisions that you make and what to focus on when it comes to your money. All very, very true with that. So, yeah, your self concept definitely plays a role with all of this as well. So, and how things that can happen with this and may cause stress, especially when it comes to our money and concept, is if we're not, let's say, maybe we think of ourselves as frugal. We're savers. We're putting money away right away. We're paying ourselves first. And then all of a sudden, oh, we see this pair of shoes, like, I got to get those. Not even, impulse decision thinking, and then kind of think like, that kind of wasn't like me. That's not typically what I am and who I am, and that can cause that cognitive dissonance, they call it. It can lead to stress as well. So that's why it's important to know thyself and try to stick to those values as well. But if we get off track with our spending plan, with our budget, we something that's not quite typically what we do. That's okay. Give yourself some grace and do what we can to get back on track. But this absolutely happens. It's definitely happened to me. It'll happen to me again in the future. I know it. So want to talk about another thing that really shapes a lot of our spending decisions, connecting consumers with products and services, and that is advertising. Companies, these are just some of the many, 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 many different companies that are spending billions and billions and billions of dollars each and every year so that you feel a certain way about them. So, we've got the little slogans on there as well. So me growing up with Nike, you heard "just do it" all the time. I don't know if they still quite do it, but they tell you to just do it. So do it, done it. There we go. But when it comes to, say, a global brand like Nike, what comes to mind? Feel free to put that in the chat if you like. But they spend a lot of money all the time so that you feel a certain way about that product. Right away saying it's overrated. Yeah, sure. And everybody's got an opinion. Absolutely. With this. So stuff's, typically not cheap as well with this. So, and there's brands that we might be, have more loyalty to, or the things that we like as well. But again, these companies, they spend so much money so that you feel a certain way about them. And what advertisers have found success with is appealing to, let's say, a fear without this product, without this service. Things can happen. You could suffer financial loss, physical loss. You're going to be missing out on the next best and biggest thing as well. Or a desire. There's something missing in your life, and this product is what's going to do that with that. So different. How do I get my mouse here? There we go. So again, that service, that product, they want you to portray this lifestyle that we have, or this image that we want. So, just a couple little, screenshots of things that, found on the internet. I do like the one in the left, bottom left corner. That is, I think, a DirecTV ad. I just like the little giraffe. That's it. It was called Opulence is what the ad was called. But talking about all this, gold and everything. But he says, I likes to save the money. Maybe we want to, as a couple, dress alike, in our nice fancy sweaters and go down to the water. That looks great. They're probably going to get, there's no way I could wear like a creamish, whitish, sweater like that. It's going to get so dirty whatsoever. And then we've got the body spray here. And please do not apply body spray. That much. That's whoa. All of that. Any guesses here? So talking about our, advertising. Any guesses? We could put this in the chat. how many advertisements the average person sees every day. So this is what we find, on TV, what we might hear on the radio. If you guys remember that, billboards, what we see, on websites, online, on social media, all these different things we are exposed to. And I will say the numbers that I'm seeing rolling in, we've got to get we got to up these significantly in here. So we've got a couple different sources with this, and actually, believe it or not, the average person, yeah, now Violet's getting more there, about 5,000 advertisements a day. We are so inundated with advertisements. We've become so used to them and almost numb to them as well. Everybody's always competing for our attention, for our eyeballs, for our ears, all of those things. So more than 5,000 advertisements each and every day we are seeing. And you're seeing one on your screen for Altra. There we go. Helping you live your best life. So when it comes to advertising, things to know about it creates that emotional response with that. Advertisers have found that has a far greater influence, affecting how we feel about it. It may not be what they're actually selling. It's more about, how does this make me feel? What is, whether it's something funny, or if it's a catchy song, or, something that sticks out in your mind as well. But that's what advertisers are really going for. It's your emotions. And they have found that, what we see in print, static ads not moving, they have a 2-to-1 greater influence on that emotional appeal. But something like video, something like something like that, 3-to-1. The emotional response is even greater with that. And like some of those companies that we showed and many, many others, what they're trying to do is form their narrative. Again, how you feel about that company, that product, that service. They spend a lot of money crafting, that message, or just hitting just the right note with this. And there's many different appeals that they find with advertising. Again, they always go for those emotions. So maybe an advertisement, they're going for health and well-being. With this item, with this product, with this service, we're going to be more healthy. We're going to be wealthy. We're going to be wise, perhaps, with that. Looking our best, and being appealing to others. Like, yeah, we want to look good. Yeah. Fear of physical harm as well. Financial loss. This is going to be for, security companies, let's say, or possibly insurance. We see that quite a bit right there. That desire for recognition, look at me, don't look over there, look at me. Enhancing our self-esteem. We're going to feel better about ourselves. We're going to look good, with this item, with this product, this service. Financial gain as well. So this can help us, make more money, or it can help us save money, perhaps as well. A perfect, happy home. Aw, who doesn't want that? And the desire to be loved as well. These are just some of the many different emotional appeals that advertisers are going for. And the challenge with advertising, and if you figure out a way to do this, let me know. Because again, they're going for those emotions. And if we're able to minimize that and really think about what are they selling and be more rational about it, that can, really help us break what are they actually, doing with this. And it's difficult because our emotions, like those just happen. When it comes to thinking of something rationally, like we've got to do a little work. We've got to think about this. What are they actually selling? Does this even meet, these claims that they're making, or what they're doing? But they have found, advertisers, it is that emotional appeal. With this is what you remember. It's how it made you feel with all of this. I just saw something about the car's extended warranty, the fun with that. So with the advertising, that's the challenge. Not always easy to be able to think about what are they actually selling here. When it comes to our spending habits, examine those. Take a look at our spending plan. Is it working out for us? Have a good idea of where your money's going. How much do we have coming in? Where is it going? But it can help you break out of some of those habits that we can't afford to keep as well. I know this has happened to me where I'm in the store and I'm like, whoa, that's a hot top. Awesome. And I look at the wall at the billfold. Yeah, money's not there. So when it comes to our spending habits, again, we work hard for our money. We want it to work hard for us. Little changes can make a big difference. When it comes to our bottom line, our wallet, our billfold, our purse, what we're able to do with that. Impulse buying. I don't know if this has happened to anybody else, but that is definitely what happens to cash in my pocket. For whatever reason, I get a little cash in my pocket gets warm, and I got to spend it. I'm a lot better with a debit card, with a credit card, and I know that does not work for others either. But we want to stick with our plan with this, and it really is the Achilles heel of the responsible shopper. That is the weak point. That is what can take down a great plan. It is not thinking, it's like, I see it, I got it, I got to have it, boom. It's in my cart, it's already on its way, I'm walking out with it. But we really want to think about that and be mindful of our spending decisions. Not always easy. I've definitely, when it comes to some of those impulse decisions. And advertisers and stores, they know what they're doing. So when it comes to, let's say we're in, grocery store or, one of the big box stores, let's say, but especially grocery, what are some of the items that you're going to see right there at the cash register? So what are some of the things that you're in the grocery store? What is right there? It's going to be candy. It's going to be pop. It's going to be the tabloids. I don't know if anybody still buys those, but it's definitely gum, candy, those little items, little earbuds perhaps or something like that. But it's definitely impulsive right there. We're not doing any, price comparison. It is something like, ooh, I love, Reese's, love them. Boom, right there. It's like, okay, I'll just throw that on the conveyor belt. I'll just throw that in real quick. They know what they're doing. So ways to avoid impulse buying, those decisions. Have a list. Go shopping with a list. Stick to the list. I've gotten a lot better with that. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the store and there's only a couple things that I need. Go around the store. There's going to be those items that are on the end caps. And walking around the store, and I end up spending way more than I thought I was going to, and I forget the things that I actually went there for. So do your best to create a list and stick with it. Don't go browsing things that you weren't intending to buy, because you know what? You might buy them and spend money that we were not planning to get as well. So again, this is why having that plan can really, really help with some of this. When it comes to free samples, things like that, what they're trying to do, they're trying to get you to buy more stuff. Now, I'm not saying if they've got little yogurt cups or little sausages or something like that, like, hey, get some free food. I'm all about that, especially lunchtime or something like that. But I like to, fake interest in it. It's just like, where can I get this summer sauce? Oh, it's aisle 3. Oh, great. I mean, I'm never going to buy it. But know that they are trying to get you to buy more, trying to sell you stuff. And then also just seeing, trying on clothes to see how they look, how they feel. Because again, you might buy it. So a few lifetimes ago, I did work a little bit in retail for a clothing store, and all the associates there, they were on commission. So they were all about selling more and more and more. And one of the strategies that they do in this store is that if somebody's in the changing room, in the dressing room, trying something on, the workers, they were told to find three items around that would go with whatever they're trying on. They're trying on a pair of jeans, a shirt. You're finding at least three different items, a belt, something like that, and you put them over the door. And it's like, hey, how's everything going? How's everything fitting? Can I get a different size for you? Here's a shirt and a belt that would go great with those pants, or something like that. So yeah, trying to get you to buy more, trying to get you to spend more money. So know that, going into it, the more that we can expect that, and we know that, the more we can stick to our spending plan. Don't be mean just to our employees. It's not easy. But you know what? They are trying to sell you stuff. So, be nice. They could be working on commission, the example that I gave you, and say like, no, I'm just looking. But, if I need help, I need something, you're my person with this. But again, they're trying to sell you more stuff. It may not be as fun, but going shopping alone, then we don't have that pressure. Others are buying something. We feel that pressure to also, buy that thing as well. So, going shopping alone can definitely help. And then also, don't go grocery shopping hungry either. That's not on this list here, but I found that's an important thing as well, because yeah, that definitely can. Yeah, you spend more with all of that, and then also something that I've had to implement in my life. And I know I've heard this tip other places, and I think it definitely works for me. I've had to disable the one-click buy on some of the different websites, things like that. I like looking for deals, things like that. I'm not a huge in-person shopper, but I do like to look online and things like that. And I have implemented at least a 24-hour rule when it comes to purchasing something that is non-essential. It's something that I'll let sit there and wait at least a day. I've taken different saved cards and things off websites. The one-click buy, disable that with this. So creating a little bit more friction with that. So if it is an item, I come back, let's say a day later, however much later, and it's something that this is the best price. This is something that I actually still want. I've got the money for it. Then I give myself the permission to buy it. But more often than not, I come back to it and just think, that was more something in the moment. But those advertisers, they're pretty good. With that, this is a deal, and they've got the countdown clock, and there's only 4 left. So purchase this now. This is the lowest price it's been in years. There's a lot of different tactics out there to get you to buy, and they know what they're doing. They're good. So the more that we know and can expect that, the better decisions that we can make. Who loves a great deal? Hey, I do. Bargain hunting, yes. But you know what? If it's not a part of our plan, it's not a bargain whatsoever. If something is 30% off, it's still 70% on. So, focus on what that costs you, not just the savings with that. And if you weren't planning on buying it, it's not a bargain. You're spending money that you weren't planning to spend as well. But if it is something that you were planning to buy, and you're able to find it on sale, you're buying something, let's say off season or whatever, like now's probably a great time to buy, summer clothing or bathing suits or things like that. Probably not there, clearing out space for that. So, take a look at what you can find. There's a lot of different tools online, to be able to research and things like that. But again, focus on what that costs you, not just the savings with this. And also, important to if we're feeling down, to try to cheer and pick ourselves up. We're going shopping. We want to resist the urge to shop when we're feeling depressed or possibly bored, or we can't sleep or something like that. Not always easy, and it can create a little bit of a those feelings like, oh, this is great, but it can quickly be replaced by negative feelings, and that, oh, this was money I wasn't planning on spending. This is money I don't have for something else that is a part of my plan or goals that we may have as well. Remind yourself the consequences of that spending, especially if it's not in your plan. Look for, other activities that don't cost you much. Or whatever. So, talking to an old friend or going for a walk, you know, taking a bubble bath, reading a book, something like that, that doesn't cost you anything, that could definitely help with that as well. And so this is a little bit of a flow chart, and this comes from Intuit Mint. But kind of, are you an emotional spender? Is this a need or is this a want? So, following this down. Also, taking some inventory. How are we feeling today? What's going on in our life? If things aren't going great, we might feel that need to spend to try to get us out of this funk or something like that. But again, take a moment and really think about that. And then also, what we're spending, if you are working or whatnot, how many hours, is this going to cost you? Or think about, we're buying, let's say, a sweatshirt, a hoodie or something like that. And let's say it's $45. I don't know. Would you rather have the hoodie or would you rather have somebody give you, $45 for that? Different ways we can think about our money as well. But, if we have a plan for this, if it's a need, if it is something that is that we have planned for, we've got the money for it. You can buy it as well. So things to think about there when it comes to our spending. Any procrastinators in here? Anybody procrastinating so much that they are going to raise their hand maybe tomorrow? Perhaps. Absolutely. Believe it, I do have actually a book on procrastination. Guess how far I'm into it? Like not at all. I've read just I've read the cover, read a few pages. I'm getting to it. With this. So again, very, very common that we may, put what we want now over what's important to us in the future, what our needs are, goals that we may have as well. So things to think about that, but our needs are very, very important with that. And don't sacrifice what we want right now for what we need in the future. Easier said than done. Believe me, I know. So really quickly, want to talk about what we are spending our money on. So whenever we get money, whether that be through our job or through, let's say, our allowance or birthdays, holidays, chores, things like that. What are some different things that you're spending your money on? Feel free to put that in the chat. Again, no judgment here whatsoever with this, but what are some things that you're spending your money on? Clothing, there we go, absolutely. So what else? Books, clothes, gifts. Yep, if you want to get gifts, we got to give them as well. Makeup, our gaming stuff, absolutely, that can be pretty costly. Yeah, so a lot of different things that we're spending our money on. You go guinea pig. Oh, very nice. Excellent. We got some readers in here. Very good. But if we have, let's say, a vehicle, are we done spending money on that vehicle? No. There's a lot of costs that go into that. So a lot of items that we buy, we got to think about everything that goes along with it and make sure that we're able to afford those things, not only with our money, but also, with our time, emotions, things like that as well. So, insurance, got to have that mandated by state law, gas as well. Keep your car on the road, maintain it, payments perhaps, registering the vehicle every year, all of those things, really, really important. Our clothing as well, so what we're wearing casually, if you're in any sports, so that could be costly. For working, there may be a uniform or a wardrobe or a certain way we have to dress as well. And our shoes, hopefully wearing those more than once, because those aren't cheap either. Some of our entertainment needs, so we've got our concerts, events, video games, a lot of costs go along with that. Our electronics, mobile phone, other technology, perhaps Music and movies, we are paying for those. And then also food. I could not forget that either. Oh, yeah. Yeah. When it comes to that. So this question was actually asked by The Atlantic a few years ago to 14 to 18-year-olds. How are you spending your money? What are you spending your money on? And they came back with this beautiful monochromatic graph. So the two biggest categories of spending that they found were clothing and food. Clothing at 21%, food at 18%. Does that surprise anyone in here? It does not surprise me whatsoever. Young adults typically live like we're on the Oregon Trail. We care what's on our back and what's in our belly because we may not have all of these costs quite yet or at this time. We might be getting help perhaps. Our shoes, car, electronics, music and movies, video games as well. Concerts, the books, the furniture. I'd love to find the 16-year-old spending money on a nice credenza or something like that. I just like saying credenza. But there's something missing from this list. And experts say we should be putting at least 10% of any money that we have coming in. We should put this toward it, and we should do that right away. Any guesses what that might be? Savings. There it is, Daniel. Yes, very good. Save. At least a dime out of every dollar. If you could do more than that, do it. Absolutely. And we should do it right away. Pay yourself first, just like any other bill. Really want to make sure we do that because there's always too much month at the end of the money. So just like any other bill, pay yourself first. So in just a moment, I'm going to introduce you to a couple of friends of mine, Brad and Jenny. They're not real like most of my friends. Brad, he gets started saving early and he stops. And Jenny, she gets off to a later start, but she puts more money in. So let's see who has more in retirement, Brad or Jenny.
What is compound interest? Compound interest means earning interest on your interest. It's essentially free money. Let's take a look at the power of compound interest. Meet Brad. Brad started saving money when he was 18 years old. He saved $2,000 a year for 16 years and then stopped. This means Brad put a total of $32,000 of his own money into his investment account. From there, he decided to let the money sit and not add any more to it. Now let's meet Jenny. Jenny didn't start saving money until age 34. She also saved $2,000 a year. However, unlike Brad, she continued to save every year through age 65, for a total contribution of $64,000 of her own money into her investment account. During this time, both Brad and Jenny earned a 5% annual return. Now let's fast forward to age 65. Whose investment do you think is worth more? Brad, with his total of $32,000 invested over 16 years, or Jenny, who invested $64,000 over 32 years?
So I don't know about you guys, but I think, Brad and Jenny, they look great for 65, don't they? I hope I look half as good as Jenny when I'm her age. So Brad, he gets started at age 18. He saves $2,000 a year, and then he stops. But he doesn't touch that money. That's important. So it continues to grow. And then Jenny, she gets off to a later start, and she puts in more money than Brad over a longer period of time. So we've got a couple putting. We've got some Brads, we've got some Jennies. Or is this a trick question, and both are going to have exactly the same with this? So what if it is equal? There we go. All right, Jenny is smart. Yeah. So let's see how they do.
Over time, compound interest accelerates your savings. Believe it or not, Brad came out ahead, over $78,000 ahead. Starting early is key. Brad put less money in, but started 16 years earlier. Since he invested earlier, the interest kicked in sooner. It turned his $32,000 into over $236,000, and he didn't have to do a thing.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm really good at doing nothing. In fact, I've been told that more times in my life than I would like to admit. But Brad, he made more than $200,000 of free money. He didn't have to do anything for that. Just let it sit, Let it grow. Let that previous interest build upon that interest over. So we're teaching how to get rich slowly, but get rich. This is over the course of almost just shy of 50 years. Jenny did pretty well for herself. She made more than $94,000 in free money. Now, if Jenny kept putting in $2,000 a year well into her 200s, she would start to approach where Brad's at. I don't know if she's going to make it that long. She looks great for 65. And again, I know these are cartoon characters and they are not real. But the big takeaway here is to save early, save often, and just think many of you probably even younger than Brad. Just think about if you start putting some money in now and just letting that grow, not touching it, and seeing what can happen in the future. So really, really important. There are three factors that grow our savings, and that is how much money we have saved. The more money we have saved in an account that earns interest, earns dividends, the more money we're going to have in the future. The second thing is going to be the interest rate. So the higher the interest rate, the more we're going to have in the future. And the third thing, and probably most important thing, especially for each and every one of you being young, time. Time is on your side as well. So really, really important. Save. Not always easy. I would love to tell you, yes, I was just like Brad. I was putting money away all the time and saving. I would be lying to you. I am much more like Jenny. I didn't get serious about saving until my late 20s, early 30s. And by then, I had missed out on years that my money could have grown via compound interest. I could try putting in more now, but I'll probably still never have as much as I would have had I started earlier. So, $10 is better than nothing. $5 is better than nothing. Nickels, dimes, quarters are better than nothing with that. So again, save. Really, really important. Not always easy, but it is important.
Saving a little now means earning a lot more interest later. Start saving today.
If you could start saving yesterday, even better, but today is a great day. So again, save. If we save today, instead of, waiting till tomorrow, we could take advantage of that. Your money actually growing, and you actually earn interest or dividends by letting a financial institution use your money. So that's why you get that. So in a savings account, your money's going to earn just a little bit. The more that you have in there, the more you're going to earn. But let's say we get money from our grandma because we are her favorite grandchild. Why wouldn't we be? So we put that grandma money, let's say, into a savings account. Now that bank or credit union, that financial institution, they may use a portion of that money, and that might go into an auto loan for a different member. That might go into, a mortgage, a personal line of credit, business loan, whatever. And so for you letting that financial institution use a little bit of your money, they give you money. And all you have to do with that money is just let it sit, let it grow, like what we were talking about here as well. But save. Not always easy, but save. We haven't talked much about credit. That's going to be coming up in another Teens and Money. We could go hours and hours talking about credit, but just really, really quickly when it comes to how we spend our money, it's credit. It's a loan, a short-term loan that we're going to pay that back in the future. Now, research has shown that those that utilize cash, they typically spend less than those that rely on a debit card that's connected to your checking account or a credit card like this as well. So, know those consequences of it. Have a good idea of, how you're spending your money, what you're spending your money on. We don't want to overdraw, let's say, our checking account or just try, spend more than what we have with this. So again, having that plan, really, really important with all of this and doing our best to stick with it. We want to be a conscious consumer. We're getting here toward the end. So these are questions to ask yourself when it comes to, buying different, services, different products, things like that. Will I really use this? Is this something that I really want? Take a moment and think, what are my motives for making this purchase? Is this based on my mood? Is this based on, what I've seen others wearing, using, things like that? So, taking a step and thinking, why am I purchasing this? Or what's this going to do for me? Do I own anything else that, provides this same use or whatnot in order to save money there. Did I feel the need for this item before? I saw it before I saw it in the store. Is this something like, whoa, I didn't even know that existed. Bam, I've got to have it, want it. It's coming home with me here. And then also think about, I mentioned it before, those not only financial costs of many of these different things, but what are the emotional costs, or what all goes with it as well. So whether that be time, effort, all these things, can we afford it? Just because we've got the money doesn't always mean we can afford it. So it's always good just to take a step back and really think about what we're doing with all of this. And then, do your research as well. Can you get it for less elsewhere? Really, really important. I can't stress that enough. Some more things to keep in mind. Don't spend what you don't have. Easier said than done, I could tell you that for sure, especially when it comes to something like putting something on a credit card. So how I got started with credit was my freshman year of college, and I wanted a free T-shirt going into a basketball game. I got the shirt. Friends of mine, they're just like, "Hey, you want this T-shirt? All you have to do is just fill out this application." A couple friends of mine, they flew through the application, and I was like, "How'd you guys get through that so quick?" Like, they ask a lot of questions, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't put any of our real information." Guess who did? This guy. And it took, with that credit card, I was buying food with that. I was going out to eat, even though I had the meal plan. I was using it to drive around. Things that, clothes, things that I really didn't have the money for then. So that free T-shirt, that cost me, I don't know how much. And that card, I do remember it was 24.99% interest. That's not great. And I used it, for years, and that free T-shirt, that ended up costing a lot of money with it. So things to keep in mind, but stay on your plan. Not always easy, not easy at all with that. If you get off track, that's okay. Give yourself some grace. It's fine. You're human. That's okay. Save, pay yourself first. If you get nothing else out of this today, again, remember, just like any other bill, make that a priority. If you can automate it, even better. That way you don't touch that money. If you don't touch that money, you don't spend that money, and that money grows. Know the true value of what you are buying. So is the price that we're paying, is it, this is where some of that comparison shopping and really thinking about, do I really need, this top of the line item for this, or something, that's going to be a lot cheaper? Will this work? So there's a big difference between being frugal and being cheap. If we're being cheap, you're just going for the lowest price on everything. And it works with some items, but other things or services, we might go broke, being cheap because we're having to replace these items. They're breaking down. They're just not working for us, or things like that. So, really know what it is. And being frugal, that's getting the most value out of what it is that you're purchasing, doing your research, being smart with this. It doesn't always mean we're going with the lowest price item. It's what's going to work the best for you. So Jubilee asking, being frugal, frugal, it's really having that plan and knowing what's going to work for you here. So it's not necessarily being cheap with that. It's really doing the research. It's knowing, is this going to work for me? Is this the best price? Am I going to use this? Do I love it? Things like that. So it's not always, being cheap, being frugal. I try to be. I think it's a great thing. With that, not always easy, but again, it takes some effort with that in order to try to save some money. But it's not always buying the cheapest thing with that. And then also have that spending plan and do the best we can to stick with it. Again, not always easy with this, but that can help us keep on track. We don't have those impulse decisions, those purchases, because it just doesn't work with our plan as well. And what we're doing today is going to have a big impact on your future with this. So that success, the more that we're able to do some of these things, the more natural they become, the more disciplined we are with our money, the better our money is going to work for us. We work hard for it. We want it to work hard for us. Here.